Hi everybody, thank you for joining me for a while. I am out in Red Mountain Park. It's interesting that I have been here 4 years, as well as the 4 years I went to college here back in the early 80s, and I had never actually come to this park. I just happened to be driving about today and noticed the sign that said Red Mountain Park. So I decided, why not come out here, see what's going on. I called Janora. I said, Janora, have you been to Red Mountain Park? She said, no. I've seen the sign. I see it when I'm driving through on the interstate. But anyway, here I am in Red Mountain Park. From what I'm seeing so far, it appears to be walking trails. Walking trails to come out and get exercise. How are you all? And, of course, Kundalini Kane wanted to come out and get some of the action. So here I am. I wanted to also talk briefly with you about how pleased I am that the world actually is waking up to the truth about bogus HIV. I can't tell you enough, in enough different ways, just how devastating the news of that when it first came on the news back in 1984 was to me, and how impacted my life was by that. And I know that I am not the only one. There are many who lost their lives, including my best beloveds. I was on that list. I'm very thankful, as I've also said, that I was able to look further and research on my own and learn the inconsistencies. I'm happy that Kitty Awadu, Pure Flow Radio, Truth or Talk Radio, and others have allowed me to tell this story. Lately, Davita Rose and I have been exposing her main concern, which is healing domestic violence, raising awareness about it, marketing her book, The Blood and Tears of Domestic Violence, along with me, my book, There Is No HIV. Many people said, you know, why do you choose that title for your book? Nobody's going to want to be seen walking around with that because everybody's going to think they have HIV. I said, yeah, but, you know, the guy that helped me initially with my book wanted me to put HIV in it, and I didn't want to because I didn't want to give energy to a lie. But then, since I didn't get behind that book because it had so many errors and typos and type things, that I let it sit on the shelf for many years. So I decided to do a version 2. And I paid particular attention, as well as paid for help in bringing it to life for you, as you can clearly see. It's the table of contents, the bibliography, the extensive reading list, the links to various organizations, including my website, where there are many resources from scientists all around the world who have been trying to expose this crisis for many years. So please take a look at that. ConsciousDoctor.com, that's ConsciousDR.com, in the Rainbow Warrior Companion section of the website. As well, I'd also like you all to order and read my book. It is not just about HIV. It is about Kundalini awakening. It is about issues that impact us socially. There's a complete study there about how around the world receiving the news of an HIV-positive diagnosis impacts people, mostly melanin people, who all, according to the research, both qualitative and quantitative, have come to the conclusion that they do not want to adhere to the medications, knowing that they are harming them. And so, as I venture into getting a PhD later on in the coming years, after securing licensure in counseling, mental health counseling, I will be contributing research to the peer-reviewed literature that will be available in databases all around the world. That's going to take quite a bit of work. I'm going to be seeking some of you, even if you would like to be interviewed or be a part of the gathering of research about this topic anonymously. I'm going to need your help. PhD is a research degree, and everything has to be really tight. And I believe by that time, the world will be further awakening to the truth and ready. It's been 23 years that I've been waiting on the world to wake up. And I am still waiting because I am living with the lifelong stigma of bogus HIV. So thank you so much. If you are aware of people who have been imprisoned, please contact them. Let them know about me so they can speak to people who are concerned about their safety, who also might not be aware of the science behind why HIV is a lie. I can be very bold about it in talking about it. First of all, because I have the science to back it up. Other professionals like myself have been coming to the fore for many years. I want to thank them. Joan Shenton, Dr. Nancy Turner Banks, Clark Baker, David Crow, David Tavares, Peter Duisberg, and there are many others. You can see them also on the website. Please see House of Numbers. I was moved by Davida Rose's sharing the story of how dramatically impacted her own family was when her brother was murdered in 1992. She, like me, sometimes has to put a book down for a while because the impact of learning the truth can be very devastating. It's just like going from being a religious person to becoming spiritual. There comes a time when the new and the old begin to clash. The term for that in one book that I used to study from in the early days of getting on the path is called How I Used Truth. How I learned truth and how I used truth. And that term is called chemicalization, where there comes a time, again, when the new learning clashes with what we have grown up with. So, some people don't make it beyond that point. They're not able to assimilate new information because it's safer to let things be just as they are. But we have learned consistently, particularly in the medical industry, where Dr. Banks has exposed that almost 500,000 people per year are killed by doctor error. That is very serious. In the past, we have been taught to see our doctors as sort of like a God figure. If it comes from them, we believe it, we trust it. But we are becoming more aware of alternative methods of healing, from iridology to herbology to healing through chakra awareness, kundalini awareness, all manner of ancient modalities, most of which, if not all, originated from our ancestors in Kemet. Imhotep is a father of medicine, not Hippocrates. Our ancestors have been displaced. They have been dishonored by not telling the truth of their contributions. I have stated that I do not believe things will go right on this planet as long as TV shows like History Channel and others venture into all parts of the world, failing to clearly state who built the structures, who brought the knowledge, who civilized the world, this planet. So, people like me and many others, as you know as well, Bobby Hemmett is my favorite teacher, but Phil Valentine, Jewel Pookrum, Scott Whitaker, and many others. I'm speaking impromptu. I don't want to leave anybody out, but you know that we love you, we appreciate you, and we thank you. I won't take up more of your time. Thank you for joining me. Please order the book. please visit the website as well. I'll be moving back to Atlanta. Atlanta, for Georgia, is very much like Bessemer here in Alabama. Many melanin people live there, and people are calling me and saying, man, every other day on the news, we're hearing how gay people in Atlanta are running rampant with receiving this diagnosis. I've already exposed about 8 Atlanta and its offshoot organization, Evolution Project, are the vehicle through which our people are being routed into what I call a death campaign for genocide, eugenics, profiteering, organ harvesting, stimulating world economies, and dominating through sexual fear. Think about your own life. You know how dramatically impacted. If you've been watching my presentations, I want to thank you for, first of all, seeking forgiveness for the people who passed, that you rejected. They are waiting on you to grant that forgiveness. And if they are alive, if you know someone who's received that diagnosis, inform them that there is another side to the issue. On my website in the Contact Us section, I can be emailed by anybody. I will return a call. We can discuss their getting involved in their own education and hopefully self-correcting, removing themselves from that campaign and going back to a life, a normal life as best they can, given the lifelong stigma, which is what we will continue to bust up as I make headway in Atlanta, raising awareness. There was DeVita Rose and her son and everyone else who wants to participate in this worthy cause. Okay? Get the word out there. This can work. We can bust up bogus HIV worldwide with your help. Thank you once again. I am Dr. Damien Q. Laster, Kabir Amin Ra Ampu Asar Set Harakti, the Rainbow Warrior, Conscious Doctor. Have a good day. To Ra from Red Mountain, Birmingham, Alabama. Goodbye.